But now, without further ado, going back to Adam Kokesh. Adam.
Thank you, Alex.
It's all coming true. I mean, we were the kooks to warn about using the military on the streets. It's happening. NDAA, police state, all of it. World government being announced. I mean, it's crazy, Adam.
Well, that's why it's so important to have an event like this, the Ron Paul is the Choice of the Troops March, to be able to create a way to reach out to guys on active duty, because when it comes to that, we have to ensure that they know that they're still human beings. This is why the work of oath keepers is so important, ensuring that they honor their oath rather than their illegal orders. But, Alex, if I may for just a minute, I have one more important announcement about this event coming up, because we have an incredible lineup for the after party of musicians, the cream of the crop of the musical talent of the freedom movement, who support the troops, who support Ron Paul. And we're going to have Amy Allen, Jordan Page, Golden State with your good friend James Grundler, shout out to him for stepping up for this, and Rebel Inc. But we also have an exciting last-minute addition. Michael Graves, the former Misfits frontman, came out on Adam vs. the Man just last week to announce that he's endorsing Ron Paul and will be performing for us at this event. So the website is March2, the number 2, march2whitehouse.com. And we're going to be selling these tickets out, so if people want to get in on this, get in now.
No, but you're not going to have Danzig there from the Misfits.
No. Well, he's, you know, if you look at his politics, it's a little scarier. I'm much more excited to have someone who's woken up on our side.
It's awesome. It's incredible what's happening. And I wasn't making fun of that lead singer. I was just acting trendy that I know who the original lead singer was. See, I'm trendy, Adam. Extremely trendy.
Well, you know, one of the things that I've realized is that a lot of these celebrities who are coming out and saying, well, I support Ron Paul here or there, you know, and they're kind of anxious about it. A lot of it's, you know, we can say things like, well, you know, they don't want to compromise their sales. They're afraid of being political and polarizing and alienating people. But, you know, we saw Kelly Clarkson do a tweet for Ron Paul that spiked her sales through the roof. And, you know, that's really incredible to see that we have a movement that is such an economic force, as I'm sure you know with your massive listening base, but, you know, that they're lacking the confidence. A lot of them, you know, you and I take it for granted as people that are steeped with backgrounds in politics and current events that, well, yeah, of course they should be coming out and advocating for Ron Paul and leveraging their celebrity and getting out and talking to everybody they can and yada, 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 and everything we would hope and dream for them to do. But a lot of them don't have the confidence in the background to be able to say, stand behind their beliefs and articulate them clearly. And one of the things I've learned is that as activists, we can do a lot to help them out. And you know, as you know, with your personal friendship with Charlie Sheen and that effort there, you know, I hope that's ongoing and that he's able to do more for the cause. But at least we've got these 5 incredible headliners coming out for this event on
Well, I agree with you, but people say, well, Charlie Sheen's got all this wild stuff in his background. That isn't the point. It brings massive attention to something, and in the media, that is key. Now, Adam, I want to get your perspective, though, on the Iran situation.
Sure.
I talked to Ed Asner, speaking of celebrities yesterday, and he was saying that he's talked to Navy SEALs that gave me their names and numbers and info, that they're saying, they're talking to current SEALs, that there is a false flag staged terror attack in the works to be blamed on Iran.
It doesn't surprise me at all, Alex. But, you know, I have an offer for you if you're interested. I'll let you respond off the air. But I'm trying to organize a trip to Iran, and I'd like to have an opportunity as a journalist, if you want to call me that, to show the American people all of the shared humanity that we have with the people of Iran and let them see what we stand to lose by not stopping this war from happening, by not letting the globalists have their way and convince us to have another war that's obviously not in the best interest of anybody involved except those that fund it from both sides. So if that's of interest to you and you'd like to have a correspondent in Iran, I'd love to work with you. But I do think it's very scary to see that this is just kind of plodding along, that we've seen this since the Bush years, that all of these forces have been pushing us in this direction. You know, the CIA pulled the rug out from underneath George Bush, the second, when he was trying to get people riled up about Iran. And it's amazing to see that no matter how much truth you show people, they still fall for this war propaganda. I mean, why do they do war propaganda? Because it works. And that's what's so sad about the human condition today. But it's because of journalists like yourself that we're able to fight back, we're able to change that. And I'm really hopeful. You know, I take the long view of human history, and I see the power of the internet coming into play like never before. I see the ability for people to tune into your show online, to get Infowars.com and everything that's so key there, and to see the counterpoints to that propaganda. So I'm very anxious, and I want to be on the side of the counter propaganda, and you know, I'd really appreciate your help if you're interested in getting involved. But being able to show that counter narrative, being able to show that there's a common humanity between the people of the United States and Iran it's hard to deny. It's hard to deny. It's easy if you watch the mainstream media. It's easy if you just, you know, like Thomas Jefferson said, if you are a man who reads the newspapers and are less educated than someone who reads nothing at all, if you just get that mainstream message, it's really easy to forget that. And
I agree. And I mean, as you were saying, though,
dehumanization.
Exactly. But as you were saying, I mean, the wages of this are enslavement. They're going to use these new wars to clamp down on our freedoms even more. I mean, here is the Foreign Policy Review. Clinton gave a speech yesterday saying we need Assad's consent to put troops in Syria. The UN is now saying they may listen to the Arab League and basically invade. There's already special forces reportedly advising Wahhabist al-Qaeda. I mean, what do you make of the admission that al-Qaeda, real al-Qaeda, has been given Libya? They're now being given areas of Syria. They've thrown their old dictator out, Assad, and put another military dictatorship in Egypt. I mean, this is crazy to see al-Qaeda openly working for NATO.
Crazy. You're the last person I would expect to call that crazy, considering your familiarity with the history of al-Qaeda, Alex, that you would be surprised that our government is making enemies, deliberately setting them up, and then saying, whoops, sorry about that. Our meddling led to more American enemies that we now have to create more wars to go and vanquish. I mean, come on, you know, Alex, you know that this is all part of the setup. I mean,
sure, but I'm saying what's crazy, to be clear, is that, and I'm glad you point that out. What is crazy, Adam, is that they're openly using al-Qaeda, working for the globalists. Yes, I know they created them and they work for them, while still saying TSA's got to grope your wife and daughter because of al-Qaeda, and then now al-Qaeda, who we knew worked for them, openly works for them. It's crazy how dumb they think we are.
Yes, that is what's crazy, and if that doesn't get you fired up, if that doesn't make you want to repost this video, if that doesn't make you want to bring another listener to Alex Jones, if that doesn't make you want to wake somebody else up and pull them out of the mainstream media hypnosis, I don't know what does. When you see when you listen to that, the result is death. When you tune out, we can save lives. Simply in the act of tuning out, simply in the act of accepting a different take on reality, a more honest take on reality, a direct take on reality that's not trying to deceive you into doing anything that supports this globalism that we're seeing. And so I just like what you're saying. My only conclusion that I would throw back at you is, you know, you got to listen to people like yourself. You got to listen to the Alex Jones Show. You got to check out Adam versus the Man, although I'm not doing the same thing exactly as Alex. You got to make sure that you're unplugged from that mainstream.
Well, all of us are helping to accelerate the awakening, including our own awakenings. Adam, we're going to be talking to you again on the Nightly News tomorrow night, and we're going to write a big article about the march and the event. Everybody who wants to march on the White House peacefully, get there, be there. We Are the Media, upload it all to the web, to all the BitTorrents and YouTube. We are the media. We don't even really care if the corporate whores don't show up. That just makes them that much more illegitimate, and more they're dying. Adam, thank you so much.
Thanks. March2whitehouse.com. You can get the details of the event and where to buy tickets for the after party. Thank you so much, Alex.
You bet. March2whitehouse.com. Very exciting. All right, there goes Adam.
We were brought up loving our country and our Constitution. That in the United States of America, we were free. And that's an attitude that we've tried to instill in our children. I met my wife while in the Air Force. I was a combat pilot in Vietnam. I served in Desert Storm as a commander. When I graduated from the academy, I took the oath of office. And as a commander, I administered that oath to many people. Now I wonder about the understanding people have of our Constitution, and I think about our candidates for President of the United States. It's interesting to see the support Ron Paul gets from the military. And if we think back to the code of conduct and people raising their right hand that they were going to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, Why would those same people support in great numbers Ron Paul? I think it's because they know that he supports the Constitution of the United States. It doesn't mean you have to go to war to do it. It means you have to understand what the Constitution is and be a supporter inside of your own country, whether you're in the military or not, of that Constitution, and make the United States strong. And Ron Paul does that. That's his feeling. That's his thrust. And that's why if you look at the percentages that support him in the military, it's huge. Why is that? Because they've raised their right hands, and they're putting their lives on the line for us here in the United States, and they know that Ron Paul does the same.
For stepping up for this, and Rebel Inc. But we also have an exciting last-minute addition. Michael Graves, the former Misfits frontman, came out on Adam vs. the Man just last week to announce that he's endorsing Ron Paul and will be performing for us at this event. So the website...
State, all of it, world government being announced. I mean, it's crazy, Adam.
Well, that's why it's so important to have an event like this, the Ron Paul is the Choice of the Troops March, to be able to create a way to reach out to guys on active duty, because when it comes to that, we have to ensure that they...
But now, without further ado, going back to Adam Kokesh. Adam,
Thank you, Alex.
It's all coming true. I mean, we were the kooks to warn about using the military on the streets. It's happening. NDAA, police...
They know that they're still human beings. This is why the work of oath keepers is so important, ensuring that they honor their oath rather than their illegal orders. But, Alex, if I may for just a minute, I have one more important announcement about this event coming up, because we have an incredible lineup for the after party of musicians, the cream of the crop of the musical talent of the freedom movement, who support the troops, who support Ron Paul. And we're going to have Amy Allen, Jordan Page, Golden State with your good friend James Grundler. Shout out to him for